You are probably wondering why the sudden volume of bicycle violations is being put in effect in Japan. Oddly enough, these rules have been in place for quite a number of years, yet may have not been strongly enforced until April 1st of this year, 2026. So things that may have been overlooked before are now being taken much more seriously. Be sure to stay till the end because there are a number of important need-to-know points to cover if you are just visiting or even living in Japan. Japan is known for being safe and orderly, and bicycles are still a big part of daily life here for commuting or just a quicker way to get around other than public transportation. But recently, bicycle rules have been getting stricter and enforcement has increased. That is because there have also been more accidents and safety concerns, especially in high traffic areas such as Tokyo. And yes, there are actually over 100 different types of bicycle-related violations newly in effect. 113 to be exact in total that can now result in fines. And to be honest, that number alone can be overwhelming. Even I feel more worried riding a bicycle now because I don't want to make a mistake without even realizing it. So in this video, I'll go over some of the most important things to be aware of, especially if you are visiting or living in Japan. When it comes to riding, there are also many rules to be aware of, and the exact fines can vary depending on the situation. But it can generally range from around 5,000 to 12,000 yen. And here we'll briefly cover 6 categories of various violations you need to be aware of. One major category is distracted or unsafe riding, which doesn't need to go without saying infers using your phone while riding is not allowed and is now more strictly enforced. You may have a stand for your phone, but be cautious how much you interact with it while in motion, or that can still result in a fine. And also earphones in your ears cannot be argued out of getting a fine. Another major group is basic traffic violations, which is similar to cars. They are still expected to follow traffic rules. This includes things like running red lights or ignoring signs. So be sure to look up and down for the signage for you as a cyclist. And since bicycles are treated as vehicles, so the direction you ride also matters. In Japan, you are generally expected to ride on the left side of the road along with the flow of traffic. In some cases, bicycles are allowed on sidewalks, but pedestrians always have the priority. So if you're riding on the sidewalk, you're expected to go slowly and be mindful of people walking around you. This is the trickiest one in my opinion because the roads all differ. There are also everyday habits that can cause problems, even if they seem minor. For example, riding while holding an umbrella, or riding side by side with another person, or someone riding on the back of a bicycle that is not built for two. Even hanging something on the handlebars is now not allowed, sadly to say. Some violations are treated much more seriously as well. For example, riding under the influence of alcohol is prohibited and can lead to serious consequences. So as they are treated as a vehicle, they should be abided by the rules as well. In Japan, bicycles that are parked in unauthorized areas can be removed and impounded. To get them back, you usually need to pay thousands of yen of a fee, and if the bicycle isn't properly registered, it can be even more difficult to recover. Who thought that something as simple as using a bicycle can feel more complicated than it used to, right? For example, parking a bicycle isn't always as easy as it seems. When I lived near a station within a restricted bicycle parking area there were only enough bicycle spaces for the people living in the building. So when a bicycle we did not recognize suddenly parked there, everyone noticed it right away. And once it was confirmed with the rest of the residences, that especially that affected them, those bicycles were moved out to the street, where they could be picked up and taken away. So, if you're visiting someone's home or stopping somewhere briefly, it may not always be clear where you're allowed to leave it. So, it's always best to ask. And if you're not careful and you choose the wrong place, it could probably cause serious problems for the people around you. So, if you're wondering about the restricted parking around stations rule, this is especially important to know. You can actually find signs near the station with maps lined in red that show you where it is restricted to park bicycles near the station. And if not, they can be impounded if not in suitable parking. It needs to be either in public parking or approved in private areas. And if you don't follow this, you can be left stranded without a bicycle. Maybe one thing you've noticed that hasn't been addressed is helmets. They do have rules in place for helmets as well, and they actually did try to put it into effect a few years ago. Yet it was never strongly enforced, though many people bought helmets. Yet even now, since of April of this year, it hasn't even been enforced, with the 113 violations, oddly enough. And if it was included, it would have made 114 violations that could be fined. And who knows, in due time, it may be another violation if you're not wearing a helmet. So if you are a visitor to Japan, do not assume this can exclude you. This is for everyone over 16 years of age. If you commit serious offenses, especially or depending on the case, you can be fined if not further legal action could be taken. So if you receive a ticket, you're expected to pay it within the given time. Even for visitors, it's important not to ignore it. While it might seem something small, leaving it unpaid can lead to legal problems later, especially if you plan to return to Japan. So please pay it. These are just some of the more notable things, but there are still so many rules that have been in place that you may not still be aware of. So I encourage you to look into it more yourself and check out the English slides in the description below that I included for you so that you can see what other violations to look out for if you decide or need to ride a bicycle in Japan. Sadly, it doesn't fully provide every one of the 113 violations in English, but beware the ones that are translated are expected to be abided by. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and also let me know what you would like to know more about Japan so that I can put it in a future video. The more ideas, the merrier. So, taking a little time to understand these rules can make a big difference in avoiding problems and feeling more comfortable getting around. And I really hope this helps, especially to avoid getting these violations and being cautious, but still being able to enjoy your trip into Japan without a hiccup and having to deal with getting a fine on your most needed vacation. 最後まで見てくれてありがとうございました。また次回の動画で会いましょう。Thanks for watching till the end, and we'll see you in the next video.